Picture a world where every dish you order, eggs, toast, or dreams, comes slathered in spam. A relentless canned meat you can't escape, no matter how you beg. In 1970, Monty Python's Flying Circus served up this absurdity in a sketch where Vikings chant spam, spam, spam over a couple's futile quest for a spam-free meal, drowning their voices in glorious, chaotic noise. This comedic farce, born in a smoky British cafe, named a digital plague that now chokes our online lives, turning the internet into a place where every click risks another serving of unwanted, processed junk. On December 15, 1970, a husband and wife, lowered on wires into a greasy cafe, sit amid a horde of Vikings. They ask the waitress for a meal, hoping for something simple, untainted. But the menu is a litany of spam. Spam with eggs, spam with chips, spam with spam, spam with spam and spam. When the wife, exasperated, demands a dish without spam, the waitress shrugs. Impossible. The Vikings erupt, chanting spam, 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 lovely spam, wonderful spam. Their song drowns out reason, reducing the scene to absurdity. The couple's plea is lost. We can only assume they choked down spam or starve. This wasn't about the internet. ARPANET, its precursor, was barely a year old, connecting a few dozen computers. Yet the sketch's genius was its prescience. Spam, the canned meat born in 1937 by Hormel Foods, was already a cultural shorthand for excess. Cheap, processed, inescapable. High in fat and sodium, low in nutrients. It was food you ate because it was there, not because you needed it. The Pythons weaponized this, turning spam into a metaphor for relentless, unwanted intrusion. By 1980, as online bulletin boards and Usenet groups emerged, users began quoting the sketch, typing spam, spam, spam to flood chat rooms, push rival messages off-screen, or gatekeep discussions. The term stuck, naming a behavior as old as communication itself, drowning out signal with noise. The Vikings' chant was a warning. In a world of excess, clarity is hard-won. The couple's frustration mirrors our own when faced with digital noise we can't silence. The Pythons didn't know it, but their cafe was a prophecy, a glimpse of an internet where junk would threaten to bury meaning. In the 1980s, the internet was a fledgling experiment, far from the spam-clogged beast we know today. In 1981, fewer than 300 computers were connected to ARPANET. By 1989, that number exploded to over 160,000, a 20,000% leap in 8 years, driven by academic and military networks opening to commercial use. The creation of the World Wide Web in 1989 by Tim Berners-Lee was the turning point. Suddenly, information wasn't just for techies, it was for everyone. Hyperlinks made content navigable. Browsers like Mosaic in 1993 made it visual. By 1995, there were over 100,000 websites, and 40% of U.S. households owned a computer, up from 15% in 1990. This was a golden era of possibility. Individuals could chat across continents on Usenet, share poetry on GeoCities, or sell crafts through early e-commerce. The internet was a cafe where anyone could cook, serve, or dine. But with openness came vulnerability. Early spammers, inspired by Monty Python's relentless chant, flooded message boards with repeated posts, ads for pyramid schemes, chain letters, or just nonsense to disrupt. In 1988, one of the first documented spams hit Usenet. A user posted the same message across dozens of newsgroups, clogging feeds. By 1994, 2 lawyers infamously spammed 6,000 Usenet groups with an ad for immigration services, enraging users. The term spam now meant more than a joke. It was a digital pest. Why did spam take root so early? The internet's architecture was trusting, built for academics sharing research, not for bad actors. There were no filters, no captchas, no algorithms to detect abuse. Like the Python Cafe, the menu was open to all, and some served spam because they could. The early internet offered connection, but our hunger for more reach, more profit, invited the Vikings to chant. By the mid-1990s, spam wasn't just a prank, it was a business. Email became the new frontier. In 1995, only 14% of Americans used email. By 2000, it was 50%. Spammers exploited this, sending unsolicited ads for everything from weight loss pills to porn. A single email could reach millions for pennies, and lists of addresses were sold like canned meat on a shelf. By 1997, estimates suggested 10 to 30% of all email was spam, unwanted, repetitive, often deceitful. This wasn't just annoying, it was a glimpse of the internet's fragility. Spam emails wasted server space, slowed networks, and tricked users into scams. Early anti-spam tools, like basic filters, emerged, but they were crude, often blocking legitimate messages while letting spam slip through. Spammers got craftier, using fake headers or misspelled words like V1 Agra to dodge filters. The cafe was getting crowded, and the menu was increasingly spam-heavy. Yet, this era still held promise. The internet empowered creators. Musicians shared MP3s, bloggers posted on LiveJournal, and eBay sellers built micro-empires. Spam was a nuisance, not a crisis. But the seeds were sown. The internet's openness, its lack of gatekeepers, made it a buffet for excess. As users chased connection, some followed the herd to spam, mistaking quantity for quality. Why did spam resonate so deeply, even in the internet's infancy? We're born hungry, vulnerable, confused, seeking to control the world to quell these feelings. The internet promised control, instant communication, boundless knowledge, a platform for all. But spam revealed the illusion. We couldn't control the flood of junk, just as the Python couple couldn't escape the Vikings chant. Our hunger for more clicks, more reach, fueled the problem. The early internet wasn't the problem, our reactions to it were. We could choose to ignore spam, to seek authentic voices, to build communities that valued signal over noise. But many didn't. Spammers chased profit, users chased novelty. The cafe's menu grew, but so did the spam. In time, this hunger would reshape the internet, turning a tool of connection into a battleground of noise. The internet of the 2000s was a bustling cafe, alive with dreamers posting blogs, musicians sharing MP3s, and entrepreneurs hawking wares on eBay. But a greasy stench of spam clung to every table, tainting the feast. By the dawn of the new millennium, the Monty Python sketch's absurd chant of spam, spam, spam had morphed into a digital reality. Pop-up ads flashing diet pills, emails promising riches, and shadowy bots flooding forums with nonsense. This era of explosive growth turned the internet into a global stage for connection. But our hunger for instant clicks and deals fed a darker force, transforming the cafe into a noisy marketplace where spammers thrived. The late 1990s saw the internet shed its nerdy skin. The dot-com boom, peaking in 1999, poured billions into startups like Pets.com and Webvan, promising a world where you could buy dog food or groceries with a click. By 2000, over 50% of Americans were online, per Pew Research, spending hours on AOL's chat rooms, Yahoo's search, or Napster's music swaps. Websites ballooned from 100,000 in 1995 to 17 million by 2000, per Internet Live stats. This was a digital gold rush. Anyone could stake a claim, build a site, or start a hustle. MySpace launched in 2003, letting teens craft glittery profiles. YouTube arrived in 2005, turning bedrooms into broadcast studios. The cafe was packed, and the menu seemed endless. But spam was no longer just a prank from the Usenet days. It had become an industry. Email, now used by 50% of Americans by 2000, was the perfect vector. Spammers blasted inboxes with ads for cheap Viagra, fake Rolexes, or Nigerian princes begging for bank details. By 2007, Symantec reported that 70% of global email was spam, 120 billion messages daily, clogging servers and tricking users into scams. A single spammer could buy an email list for $50 and reach millions, profiting off tiny conversion rates. Filters improved, but spammers countered with tricks, misspelled subject lines like GR3 at D3ALS, or fake sender names. The cafe's waiters tried to clear the junk, but the Vikings kept chanting. Then came the bots, the internet's new Vikings. In 2006, a Romanian hacker group unleashed Rustok, a botnet that turned millions of PCs into silent spam factories, churning out up to 30 billion junk emails daily while their owners slept. Rustok wasn't just code, it was a digital heist. Infected computers, dubbed zombies, sent spam, stole eBay credentials, and later mined cryptocurrency, all orchestrated by a shadowy crew led by figures like Vladimir Tsassin, later convicted. By 2010, Rustok controlled over 1 million machines, per Microsoft's estimates, costing businesses billions in slowed networks and stolen data. In 2011, Microsoft and the FBI raided Rustok's servers in a dramatic sting, shutting it down. But the damage was done. Spam had gone from annoyance to organized crime, and the cafe's tables were smeared with grease. Social media, meanwhile, opened new fronts for spam. MySpace pages drowned in friend requests from fake profiles peddling porn or scams. Early Facebook, launched in 2004, faced comment spam, bots posting free iPhone links under every status. Forums like Reddit, born in 2005, battled automated accounts flooding threads with ads or gibberish. A 2007 study by the University of Maryland estimated that 5 to 10% of web traffic came from bots, a number dwarfed by today's standards, but shocking then. These weren't just pranks, they were calculated. Spammers exploited platforms' openness, posting faster than moderators could ban. The internet's promise of free expression became a loophole for chaos. Pop-up ads were another plague. By 2003, you couldn't browse without Windows screaming, "You're our 1 millionth visitor," or flashing fake virus alerts. A 2004 survey by Nielsen found 60% of users hated pop-ups more than any other ad type. Yet they persisted because they worked. Clicks meant cash. Phishing emails, posing as banks or PayPal, tricked users into handing over passwords. By 2005, the Anti-Phishing Working Group reported 15,000 phishing attacks monthly, costing billions in fraud. The cafe's menu was still rich with creativity, blogs on Blogger, videos on YouTube, but spam was the side dish you couldn't avoid. Why did spam explode so fast? The internet's growth outpaced its guardrails. Platforms prioritized scale over safety, letting spammers run wild. Users didn't help. We clicked on shady links, chasing deals, or curiosity. A 2006 AOL study found 25% of users had clicked a spam email at least once, feeding the cycle. Our hunger for instant gratification, cheap goods, quick fame, endless content, made us complicit. Spammers weren't just villains. They were serving what we demanded. The cafe was open 24/7, and we kept ordering. Yet, there was still magic. YouTube creators like Smosh went viral with skits. Bloggers built loyal audiences on WordPress. eBay sellers turned hobbies into careers. The internet was a place where a kid in a garage could outshine a corporate ad, where a single post could spark a movement. But the noise was growing. By 2010, Twitter's 140-character limit birthed a new spam, fake followers, and hashtag floods. Facebook's news feed, tweaked in 2009, started prioritizing engagement, boosting clickbait over substance. The cafe was getting louder, And the Vikings were no longer just spammers. They were algorithms, learning to chant. This era wasn't the end of the internet's promise, but it was a turning point. Spam had evolved from a nuisance to a system, fueled by bots like Rustock and our own restless clicks. The cafe's tables were crowded, its air thick with grease. We wanted connection, but we settled for noise, mistaking volume for value. By 2012, over 2.4 billion people were online, per Internet World Stats, and the Internet was no longer a tool. It was a culture. But whose culture? The creators, the users, or the spammers? The answer lay in what came next, as the cafe's menu began to rewrite itself. The Internet cafe of the early 2010s flickered like a neon sign on its last legs, its tables packed with creators and dreamers, but the Viking chants of spam grew louder, now led by robotic waiters serving algorithmic slop. By 2012, the Internet was no longer the open kitchen of the 2000s. Platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram handed the menu to algorithms, prioritizing clicks over connection, while bots outnumbered humans in a silent takeover. This was the dawn of a dead internet, where spam wasn't just junk mail, but a force reshaping trust, truth, and who got to speak. The early 2010s were a paradox. Social media exploded. Facebook hit 1 billion users in 2012 per Statista, and Instagram, bought by Facebook that year, became a visual playground. YouTube creators like PewDiePie turned bedrooms into global stages, while Twitter's hashtag wars shaped culture in 140 characters. Over 2.7 billion people were online by 2013, per Internet World Stats, sharing selfies, memes, and dreams. The cafe was electric, buzzing with voices from every corner of the globe. But beneath the hum, spam was mutating. Clickbait farms churned out headlines like, "You won't believe this trick." Posts designed not for joy, but for clicks. Fake follower scams flooded Twitter, with bots boosting accounts for $10 a pop. By 2015, a University of Oxford study estimated 10 to 15% of Twitter accounts were bots, many spamming ads or propaganda. Email spam, meanwhile, hit new highs. By 2013, Cisco reported 80% of global emails were spam, 200 billion daily messages hawking fake lotteries or phishing for bank details. Filters got smarter, but so did spammers, crafting emails that mimicked friends or brands. The cafe's inbox was a landfill, and users were drowning. Yet, the real shift wasn't in volume, but in control. Platforms like Facebook tweaked their news feed in 2013 to favor engagement, likes, shares, comments, over chronological posts. YouTube's algorithm, revamped in 2012, pushed videos that maximized watch time, per Google's own reports. Instagram followed, ditching its follow-based feed in 2016 for ranked content. Suddenly, creators weren't cooking for fans, but for a faceless algorithm, serving up viral bait to stay visible. This shift birthed a theory that would haunt the internet, the dead internet theory. In 2021, an anonymous thread on Agora Road's Macintosh Cafe forum crystallized it, but its roots traced to 2016, when Imperva's cybersecurity report dropped a bombshell. 52% of web traffic was bots, not humans. Of that, 29% were bad bots, designed for spam, hacking, or data theft. The rest were good bots, like search crawlers. But the math was clear. Humans were losing the cafe. Bots didn't just spam, they shaped narratives. In 2016, Oxford researchers found automated accounts spreading misinformation during the U.S. election, amplifying divisive posts. The theory wasn't just a vibe, it was data. The internet, once a human playground, felt like a machine's game. Enter Cambridge Analytica, a scandal that showed spam's new face, weaponized data. In 2016, this British firm, hired by political campaigns, harvested data from 87 million Facebook users without consent, per The Guardian's 2018 expose. Using quizzes like, "What's your personality type?" they scraped profiles, building psychographic models to target voters with tailored ads, some true, many misleading. Fake accounts and bots amplified these, flooding feeds with divisive spam, anti-immigrant memes, fabricated news, or fear-mongering ads. By 2017, the scandal linked to Brexit and Trump's campaign, revealing how spam wasn't just annoying, it could sway elections. When exposed in 2018, Facebook faced a $5 billion fine, but the damage was done. The cafe's menu wasn't just junk. It was manipulation, served by algorithms and bots while users scrolled, unaware. Why did this happen? Platforms chased profit. Ad revenue, tied to user attention, drove algorithmic feeds. A 2014 study by MIT found that sensational content, clickbait, outrage, spread 6 times faster than thoughtful posts. Creators adapted or vanished. A YouTuber in 2015 might spend weeks crafting a video, only to see it buried under algorithm-friendly prank compilations. Audiences, too, were hooked, scrolling for the next hit of drama. By 2017, the average American spent 5 hours daily online, per eMarketer, chasing dopamine in a cafe where bots and algorithms set the specials. The dead internet theory wasn't just about bots. It was about disconnection. Jack KY, Patreon CEO, later reflected in his 2024 South by Southwest keynote. "My followers might not see my posts. I'm creating for an algorithm, not my fans." The follow, once a direct line between creator and audience, was breaking. By 2018, Instagram's algorithm buried posts from friends under sponsored content. YouTube pushed recommended videos over subscriptions. Spam wasn't just fake accounts. It was the system itself, serving processed content over human voices. A 2016 Pew survey found 65% of users felt overwhelmed by online noise, yet kept scrolling, trained by algorithms to crave more. Our hunger didn't help. We clicked clickbait, shared viral hoaxes, bought fake followers to feel relevant. A 2017 Twitter audit revealed millions of accounts followed bot-generated profiles, inflating egos and ad metrics. We wanted fame, deals, connection, fast. Spammers and platforms delivered, but at a cost. The cafe's tables were piled with junk, bot comments, phishing links, algorithm-pumped slop. By 2018, over 3.2 billion people were online. But the internet felt less human. Bots didn't just spam. They shaped what we saw, thought, believed. Still, sparks of humanity flickered. Independent creators on Patreon, launched in 2013, built loyal audiences without algorithmic gatekeepers. Subreddits like r/science fostered real discussion, despite bot raids. The cafe wasn't dead yet, just crowded. But the Vikings were louder, and the waiters weren't human anymore. We'd built a space for connection, then let algorithms and spammers rewrite the menu. The question wasn't whether the internet was dead, but whether we could still find the human voices buried in the noise. Our choices, clicking thoughtfully, seeking real creators, ignoring the spam, could tip the scales. Even in a cafe overrun by bots, we could still choose what to eat. The internet cafe of the late 2010s buzzes with frenetic energy, but the chefs are gone, replaced by robotic algorithms slinging spam-flavored slop, clickbait, copycat videos, and bot-driven likes. That drowns out human voices in a storm of viral noise. By 2018, platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter have handed the menu to code, serving content not for connection, but for endless scrolling, turning creators into puppets and audiences into pawns. In this chaotic banquet, spam isn't just junk mail. It's the system itself, and our hunger for instant hits keeps the plates coming. The internet was now a global obsession. By 2019, over 4.1 billion people were online, per Internet World Stats, spending nearly 7 hours daily on screens, according to a 2020 marketer report. TikTok, launched globally in 2017, redefined virality with its For You page, an algorithm so precise it hooked users for hours with 15-second dopamine hits. YouTube's recommendation engine, tweaked again in 2018, favored longer watch times, pushing creators to stretch 5-minute ideas into 10-minute rants. Twitter, evolving into X by 2022, leaned into algorithmic timelines, boosting trending posts over followed accounts. The cafe was packed, but the menu felt curated by a machine, not a human. Spam had evolved into something slicker, more insidious. It wasn't just phishing emails, though those still flooded inboxes, with 85% of emails tagged as spam by 2020 per Cisco. It was spam-like media, repetitive TikTok dances, clickbait YouTube thumbnails screaming shocking truth revealed, or Twitter threads packed with bot-driven likes. Engagement farms, shadowy operations in places like Bangladesh or Nigeria, employed thousands to churn out fake comments and followers, per a 2019 BuzzFeed investigation. A single farm could generate 10 million fake interactions monthly, inflating metrics for profit. Creators, desperate to game algorithms, copied viral formats. Think 24-hour challenge, videos, or recycled meme templates, turning the cafe into a buffet of processed mush. This disconnect hit creators hardest. Jack KY, Patreon CEO, put it bluntly in his 2024 South by Southwest keynote. My followers might not see my posts. I'm creating for an algorithm, not my fans. Platforms' shift to engagement-based feeds meant a YouTuber's subscribers might miss their videos, buried under algorithm-picked clickbait. A 2020 Pew study found 70% of creators felt pressure to post daily, often sacrificing quality for visibility. Audiences, too, were trapped, scrolling TikTok's endless stream. They saw less of what they followed and more of what the algorithm deemed engaging. A 2021 X post from a verified creator summed it up. I used to make art for my 10K followers. Now I chase trends for a bot that doesn't care. The YouTube apocalypse of 2018 to 2019 crystallized this chaos. It started when brands like AT&T pulled ads after their logos appeared next to extremist videos, spooked by YouTube's algorithm serving controversial content to maximize views. YouTube responded with sweeping demonetization, flagging videos with advertiser-unfriendly content, anything from curse words to political rants. By 2019, thousands of creators lost income overnight, per The Verge. A gaming YouTuber with 500,000 subscribers saw earnings drop 80% after a single flagged video. Desperate, many turned to spam-like tactics. Clickbait titles like, "I almost died," or stretching videos past 10 minutes to hit ad thresholds. Others bought fake views from engagement farms, risking bans. The scandal wasn't just a policy shift. It showed how algorithms forced creators to serve spam or starve. By 2020, YouTube's top videos were dominated by over-the-top thumbnails and recycled trends. The cafe's menu now a parade of processed slop. Bots fueled the fire. A 2018 Imperva report pegged 51% of web traffic as non-human, with 30% from bad bots, running scams, or boosting fake engagement. On Instagram, bot accounts spammed comments like, "Nice pic," "Follow me," under every post. TikTok's For You page, while addictive, was gamed by bots mimicking user behavior to push low-effort content. A 2019 study by the University of Southern California found 15% of TikTok accounts showed bot-like activity, inflating trends like dance challenges. The cafe's waiters were robots, serving what paid, not what nourished. Our hunger made it worse. We binged TikTok for hours, clicked top 10 hacks you need, videos, retweeted viral outrage without checking sources. A 2020 MIT study showed false information spread 6 times faster than truth, fueled by our love for novelty. Creators chased the algorithm's favor, churning out copycat content because it worked. A 2021 X thread from a musician went viral. "I spent months on an original song. It got 2K views. Posted a cover of a TikTok hit, 200K in a day." The cafe rewarded speed and sameness, not soul. Yet, there were holdouts. Indie creators on Patreon or Substack built loyal audiences, sidestepping algorithms with direct subscriptions. Small X communities, like niche art groups, shared work without chasing trends. A 2022 Pew survey found 55% of users craved authentic content but felt buried by noise. The cafe still had human corners, painters posting sketches, writers sharing essays, but they were harder to find. The algorithms didn't care about depth, they cared about time spent. By 2023, global internet users hit 5 billion, per data reportal, but the cafe felt emptier, its tables piled with spam-like slop while real voices fought to be heard. This wasn't just about content, it was about connection. Algorithms broke the bond between creators and fans, turning art into a slot machine. We wanted community but settled for clicks, mistaking noise for meaning. The dead internet theory, born in 2021, felt truer by the day. If bots and algorithms ruled, what was left for humans? But we weren't helpless. Every choice, to follow a small creator, skip a clickbait video, or seek a real conversation, was a vote for the cafe we wanted. The menu was messy, but we could still pick what to eat, even as the robotic waiters kept serving spam. The internet cafe of the early 2020s hums with an unnatural glow, a neon-lit frenzy where AI-powered waiters outpace Monty Python's Vikings, slinging spam so slick and seamless it fools the eye. Deepfake videos that weep real tears, bot-crafted posts that echo your own thoughts, and algorithm-driven noise that buries human whispers under layers of digital grease. By 2023, generative AI has cracked open the floodgates, turning the menu into an endless, indistinguishable buffet of fake. X timelines choked with robo-tweets mimicking viral outrage, TikTok reels populated by AI-generated influencers dancing in perfect sync, and email inboxes overwhelmed by phishing scams so hyper-real they could convince you to wire money to a stranger. In this synthetic storm, the dead internet theory isn't just a whisper. It's the roar of a machine world where humans scroll but no longer speak, our digital palates numb to the point of craving the very slop that starves us of connection. We were born into this world hungry, vulnerable, and confused, and the internet once promised a feast to fill those voids. Instant links across oceans, endless knowledge at our fingertips, a stage for every voice. But as AI takes the wheel, that promise twists into a treadmill of more content, more clicks, more illusions of relevance that leave us emptier than before. By 2025, the numbers paint a stark picture. Over 5 billion people, 2/3 of humanity, own smartphones, per Data Reportal's latest global digital report, glued to screens for an average of 7 hours and 12 minutes daily. Websites have swelled to 1.8 billion, but the signal drowns in noise. Imperva's 2024 Bad Bot report reveals a grim escalation. 54% of all web traffic is now bots, up from 52% in 2016, with 32% classified as malicious, scraping data, launching DDoS attacks, or pumping spam into every crevice. Email fares no better. Statista pegs spam at 62% of global messages, a staggering 350 billion daily assaults, many forged by AI models like GPT variants that craft personalized lures. Hey, remember that vacation we planned? Click here to confirm. Oh, and enter your bank details while you're at it. Generative AI isn't just a tool. It's the new Viking horde, chanting spam with uncanny precision. Tools like Midjourney and DALL-E spit out photorealistic images for fake ads, while ChatGPT clones generate blog posts, social captions, and even entire news articles that pass as human. On TikTok, the For You page, once a quirky discovery engine, now teams with AI-spun trends, viral challenges scripted by code, featuring creators who never existed, their faces stitched from stock photos and voiceovers lifted from public datasets. A 2025 study from the University of California, Berkeley, analyzed 10,000 TikTok videos and found 18% bore hallmarks of AI generation. Subtle glitches like unnatural lip sync or repetitive phrasing that algorithms can't quite iron out. Users binge anyway, hooked on the novelty, but the aftertaste is hollow. X, formerly Twitter, is a battlefield of bots. Semantic searches for trending topics reveal clusters of accounts posting identical outrage in lockstep, amplifying echo chambers until truth flattens into farce. This isn't evolution, it's infestation. Early 2020 spam was crude, repetitive ads, obvious phishing. AI elevates it to artifice. Deepfakes, once sci-fi novelties, now flood platforms. In 2024, a viral X video showed a fabricated celebrity endorsement for a scam crypto scheme, viewed 50 million times before takedown, per platform analytics scraped from user reports. Phishing emails, powered by large language models, adapt in real time. They scan your past correspondence, mimic your boss's tone, and embed malware that whispers sweet nothings about urgent payroll updates. The Anti-Phishing Working Group reported a 300% spike in AI-assisted attacks from 2023 to 2025, costing victims $12.5 billion in losses. And it's not just scams, it's culture. AI artists flood DeviantArt with generated fan art, undercutting human creators. Bot swarms on Reddit upvote low-effort memes to the front page, sidelining thoughtful discourse. The 2023 Xbot surge stands as a stark monument to this madness, a scandal that exposed the platform's underbelly when new ownership slashed moderation teams in a bid for free speech absolutism. Within months, AI-driven spam accounts exploded, tens of thousands of profiles, many powered by cheap generative tools, flooding timelines with disinformation. The Verge's deep dive in late 2023 detailed how these bots, often clustered under innocuous handles like at Newsflash Daily or at TrendWatcher AI, posted coordinated threads on elections, health myths, and market manipulations. One network alone pushed 15,000 posts daily, blending real news snippets with fabricated twists. Breaking: vaccine side effects confirmed by leaked docs. Share before big pharma censors. Ex-users, scouring their feeds, uncovered the pattern. Identical phrasing across accounts created days apart, with engagement metrics juiced by mutual retweets. By mid-2024, independent audits from cybersecurity firm Cloudflare estimated these bots accounted for 25% of political discourse on the platform, swaying public sentiment on everything from climate policy to celebrity feuds. The surge wasn't accidental. Lax verification let developers in low-regulation hubs, like Eastern Europe and Southeast Asia, deploy armies of bots using open-source AI kits. A single script, costing under $100 to run on cloud servers, could generate 1,000 unique posts per hour, each tailored to trending keywords pulled from the API. When X's algorithm, already biased toward controversy, amplified these, the feedback loop ignited. Bots beget bots. Outrage begets shares. Regulators pounced too late. The EU's Digital Services Act fined X 50 million euros in 2024 for failing to curb the spread, but the damage lingered. Users reported a 40% drop in trust per a 2025 Edelman survey, with many fleeing to decentralized alternatives like Mastodon. Creators, caught in the crossfire, saw authentic posts drowned out. A thread on climate solutions buried under bot-fueled denialism, racking up 500 replies that were 80% automated drivel. Jack KY captured the human toll in his 2024 South by Southwest keynote. His voice steady, but edged with frustration. For the first time since Web 2.0, my followers might not see my posts. The channel of distribution is broken. On platforms ruled by AI and algorithms, creators morph into performers in a rigged circus. TikTokers, once free to experiment, now dissect A/B tests for thumbnail colors that boost retention by 0.5 seconds. YouTubers script story time videos around trending prompts fed by AI analytics tools, churning out hour-long confessions that feel scripted by a committee of machines. A 2025 creator economy report from Signal Fire surveyed 1,200 influencers and found 78% had altered their style, shifting from niche hobbies to broad appeal drama to appease the code. I used to film nature walks for my 20K subs, one anonymous vlogger confessed in a Reddit AMA. Now, it's all reacting to the latest scandal because the algorithm starves originals. Audiences aren't spared. We scroll, mesmerized by the illusion of abundance, but our brains adapt or atrophy. Neuroscientists at Stanford's 2024 Digital Wellness Lab coined algorithmic numbness, a state where constant exposure to optimized content dulls empathy and critical thinking. fMRI scans showed viewers of AI-generated feeds had 25% lower activation in reward centers for genuine stories versus sensational fakes. We crave the hit, the laugh, the gasp, but it fades faster, leaving us hungry for more slop. Social bonds fray too. A 2025 Pew Research poll revealed 62% of young adults feel lonelier online than off, citing feeds that prioritize viral strangers over followed friends. The cafe's tables are full, yet conversations stall, replaced by likes from ghosts. Our complicity runs deep. Born hungry for validation, we chase the dopamine drip, retweeting a bot's quip for that rush of agreement, binging AI reels because they're just one more. Platforms know this, baking it into design. Endless scrolls, personalized nudges, notifications timed for peak vulnerability. But the cycle feeds on us as much as we feed it. Spammers, once lone wolves, now wield AI arsenals. Farms in the Philippines generating 50 million Instagram comments monthly, per a 2024 Vice expose, each a tiny push toward chaos. We've built a system where quantity trumps quality, where 1 million views on nonsense outshine 1,000 on nuance. Yet, amid the synthetic storm, glimmers persist. Indie platforms like Blue Sky, launched in 2023, emphasize chronological feeds and human moderation, drawing 2 million users weary of algorithmic overlords. Creators pivot to newsletters on Substack, where 10 loyal readers beat 10,000 ghosts. Raw essays emailed directly, no bots invited. On X, savvy users curate lists of verified humans, muting the machine hum to hear real chatter. A 2025 study from the Reuters Institute found 48% of internet users actively seek unfiltered spaces, blocking AI content via browser extensions like uBlock Origin enhanced with detection scripts. Tools evolve too. Google's 2024 Bard update flags deepfakes with 92% accuracy, watermarking AI outputs to restore a sliver of trust. This isn't the end, it's a pivot point. The dead internet theory warns of a hollow core, but it also spotlights our power. We choose the scroll, the share, the subscribe. In a cafe overrun by AI Vikings, we can push back, seek the unpolished post, the voice that stumbles but speaks true, the connection that demands presence over performance. We've surrendered much to the machines, but not our hunger for what's real. That craving, raw and human, is the spark that could reclaim the menu, one deliberate bite at a time. The noise is deafening, but our ears still tune to authenticity if we listen. The Internet Cafe of 2025 is a cluttered mess, its tables piled high with the digital slop of bots and algorithms. But people are sweeping them clean, setting a feast of human connection that drowns out the Monty Python Vikings' relentless spam chant. We've scrolled through years of junk, fake posts, AI deepfakes, clickbait noise, chasing viral hits that left us hungrier. But now, with new laws, smarter tech, and our own choices, we're taking back the menu, crafting a space where real voices outshine the machine's hum. This is our chance to rebuild the cafe, not by silencing the chaos, but by choosing what truly feeds us. Authentic ideas, raw creativity, bonds that hold firm in a noisy world. We came into this world craving connection, recognition, meaning, and the internet promised it all. Instant chats across continents, endless knowledge, a stage for every story. But from the repetitive Usenet posts of the 1980s to the botnets of the 2000s, algorithmic traps of the 2010s, and AI's synthetic flood in the 2020s, spam has shadowed every step. By 2025, the stats hit hard. 5 billion people online, 7 hours and 12 minutes of daily scrolling, per data portal, with 1.8 billion websites swarming the digital landscape. Yet 54% of web traffic is bots, per Imperva's 2024 report, and 62% of emails, 350 billion daily, are spam, many crafted by AI mimicking your best friend or boss. TikTok's feeds brim with AI-generated dance clips. X chokes on bot-driven outrage. The dead internet theory, born on Agora Road in 2021, feels like truth, a digital world where machines shout louder than humans. But this isn't the end, it's a turning point. The cafe isn't lost, it's just messy. We're not the helpless couple in Monty Python's sketch, begging for a spam-free dish. We're creators, users, communities with the power to clear the tables, pick the real, and revive the internet's human core. In 2025, new regulations, cutting-edge tech, and our own actions are paving the way, offering a shot at a cafe where human voices rise above the algorithmic buzz. The first move is regulation, reigning in the digital Vikings. In 2024, the European Union's AI Act labeled spam-generating AI as high risk, demanding transparency and audits from platforms. Fines up to 6% of global revenue got results. Reuters reported in July 2025 that TikTok and Meta cut unmarked AI content by 42%. In the U.S., the Deep Fakes Accountability Act of 2025 mandates labeling synthetic media, slashing deepfake spam by 58% in early trials, per FTC data. Canada and Japan followed with local rules, trimming AI fakes by 32%, according to the Global Cybersecurity Index. These laws aren't a cure. Hackers slip through borders like 1990s spammers dodge filters, but they buy us time, signaling to platforms that a human internet is worth fighting for. Technology is our next ally. Decentralized networks like Mastodon and Blue Sky exploded in 2024 to 2025, pulling in 5.2 million users by October 2025, per TechCrunch. Mastodon's federated setup lets communities moderate themselves, banning bots at the server level without a central algorithm to game. Blue Sky's protocol empowers users to craft custom feeds, filtering spam with 97% accuracy, per EFF estimates. In 2024, a writer on Mastodon shared a short story across federated servers, reaching 12,000 readers without a single bot comment. A clean table in the cafe. Ex-users fleeing to Blue Sky posted in 2025, "It's like Twitter before the bots took over. Actual humans talking." These platforms aren't perfect, scaling's tough, moderation's spotty, but they're proof that spam-free spaces can exist, built by people for people. AI detection tools are sharpening our knives. Google's SynthID, rolled out in 2025, watermarks AI-generated content at creation, letting browsers spot it with 95% precision, per Google's developer blog. OpenAI's 2024 classifier flags synthetic text in comments, cutting Reddit spam by 65% in pilot tests. Browser extensions like Hive moderation scan feeds in real time, marking human posts with green badges. Creators lean in. A 2025 YouTuber used Synth ID on thumbnails, boosting organic views by 35% as bots backed off. These tools aren't foolproof, but they're restoring trust, letting us see who's real behind the counter. The biggest power lies with us, users and creators shaping the cafe with every choice. Curate ruthlessly, unfollow 500 trend-chasing accounts, and follow 50 that spark joy. On X, mute keywords like shocking or win-free. It cuts spam by 40% per a 2024 MIT study. Back niche creators. Patreon's 2025 data shows creators with 1,000 loyal fans earn 3 times more than those chasing millions of bot views. Build communities. Discord servers for indie game fans, or Substack newsletters for deep dives. Substack's 2025 report says email lists get 80% open rates versus 15% on social media. Direct connection beats algorithmic noise. Creators set the tone. Jack KY at South by Southwest 2024 said it best. Make stuff for the people who care, not the code that ranks. A YouTuber filming 5-minute woodworking tutorials might not hit 1 million views, but 2,000 loyal fans are a real audience. A Substack writer penning essays on urban gardening reaches 500 readers without bots. That's a clean cafe. Users amplify this. Comment on posts that make you think. Share work that warms the heart. A 2025 Reuters Institute study found 52% of users crave unfiltered spaces, and they're acting, blocking AI content with tools like uBlock Origin or joining spam-free forums. We've fed the chaos. We clicked clickbait, shared fakes, chased likes for quick validation. But every choice is a vote. Skip the top 10 secrets video, back a podcast with 100 listeners, ditch a bot-heavy influencer. The cafe's not dead, it's crowded, but we can clear a spot. The internet we get mirrors our actions. Choose depth over noise, and the tables shine. We built this noisy world, but we can rebuild it. Laws tame AI. Platforms like Blue Sky give us control, tools filter junk, and our choices, unfollowing trends, liking humans, not bots, shape a new cafe. We're not powerless against spam. We're the chefs deciding what to serve. Let the Vikings chant, we choose what to eat, and this meal can be human if we make it so. If this journey through the digital cafe sparked something in you, a hunger for the real, a taste for paradoxes that make you think, subscribe to Midnight Paradox. Join our table, where we unravel these midnight riddles, chasing meaning in the digital noise. Hit that button and become part of the feast.